Hello and welcome back to Planet Crafter. Last we left off, we pulled our equipment out of the water, we launched a bunch of rockets to put meteors into the ground, and upgraded our lovely reactors, and we had a small intermission for the lovely anniversary event. And so today we're going to try to go back and craft the anniversary cake and try to unlock the next tier of stuff to make and produce, while also continuing our eggplant tower. We're definitely going to try to unlock the T2 flower spreader, which actually is not that far away. And since I know that from the anniversary event, we need honey, so we need these beehives as soon as we can get it. But we're quite a ways away from it. We need 80 tons of plants, and we're not at a single ton of plantage. And so what we're going to do to start with is we're going to make some more food growers for the cocoa beans and for the wheat. And so now we have our cocoa beans and our wheat growing in our nice little food growers. So as soon as those grow, we can go ahead and start collecting them, since we need a ton of them to produce anything. So I actually want to make a water collector so we can start making flower spreaders that much faster. So I need 3 bioplastic nuggets, a super alloy, aluminum, and magnesium. And so thankfully I've been saving up a bunch of my mushrooms, so I should be able to make all the bioplastic nuggets that I need. We did end up getting some fertilizer from the lovely event. We didn't get any super alloys, so we're going to have to go back to our super alloy production. So we're going to run back over there, grab as much of the super alloy as we can, and make it all. Right there, that lovely floating building right there is where the anniversary cave is. Now we're going to walk away with 8 super alloy from our lovely mine. I know we're not quite done with the moss stage yet, but you can kind of start seeing that the landscape is actually starting to turn green around us. It's a slow process. It's your lovely R2-D2 spreading water everywhere. Oh, and I ran all the way up here and forgot the water. I definitely don't regret making all these ladders.
Pure fiction.
Alrighty, and just in time, we unlocked the flower spreader T2. Looks like it actually needs less water, and water is my limiting factor. It'll soon be fertilizer. And now, just as a sandstorm is hitting, we have enough materials for our lovely lake water collector. And as our water particles turn to square particles, we are going to run back in. And just as we get back from collecting some water, we unlock the T4 drill. So now we can replace all of these lovely drills along the lakeside into bigger drills. And so now we're going to take our Tusca seed out of this flower spreader, deconstruct it, and upgrade it to a new T2, which the normal Tusca gives us 108 parts per quadrillion with 0.19 grams of plants a second. While the T2 gives us 1.3 parts per trillion oxygen per second and 43.5 grams a second for plants. So our plants just jumped up so much in one little upgrade. And so we, of course, are going to do that again, where we're going to take apart our flower spreader and upgrade it to a T2. And now with that closer flower spreader, we have some lovely grass growing in our building, adding a lovely bit of greenery. And to increase our plants production, we're going to make a ton of lovely fertilizer. Now we have 5 T2 flower spreaders with flowers taller than I am now and covering a larger portion of the area. Our production of plants is skyrocketing, and so is our biomass. And so at 35 tons, we'll be able to unlock the food grower T2, which will help us grow our stuff faster. And we're still very far away from our beehives for our first bit of honey. We did unlock the T4 drills, so we are going to attempt to build these new T4 drills, but they require a bunch of osmium, because we need our pressure increased so we can build these ore extractor T2s, which can extract the uranium out of the ground so we stop having to have meteors smash into the ground, and we can have a localized production of uranium. And so here's our T4 drill, which is absolutely incredibly massive, especially in comparison with our T3 drill. I thought these things were big.
That's what she said!
We've jumped up from a measly 17 nanokelvins per second of pressure and 0.25 picokelvins per second to a massive 25 picokelvin per second for heat and 459 nanopascals a sec for pressure. So an absolutely massive jump in both heat and pressure for these new drills. And so from our lovely eggplants that we are no longer able to eat, we can now make a bunch of fertilizer. Now we have 5 additional fertilizer to continue converting our lovely flower spreaders. To continue making this that's actually a lot of moss. But to continue making the lovely grass area and soon to be covered in moss. We're about 80% through the moss stage, and we're actually moving and making progress quite significantly faster. So now with all our T1 flower spreaders upgraded, we can now make additional flower spreaders to keep spreading the flowers and the love across the land. And by across the land, I mean strictly in front of my tower. And so I haven't quite forgot about our plants rocket, but we need tree bark still, which means I need a biodome T2, which requires 2 more fertilizer and some bacteria samples and some more sulfur. So we're going to swim under the water, grab our lovely algae, admire our Atlantis structures, grab the water we need for our lovely bacteria samples, turn it into bacteria samples, and build our lovely new installation, which definitely won't look super awkward just hanging off of the top. And as we're about to finish up the first rocket for the plants, we have gone into the flora stage, past the moss stage. And now we just sit and wait for our first tree bark. And so with that, our first tree bark is in, so we should have everything we need to build our first rocket. And we do. And here is our lovely plants rocket, with our seed lerma on the inside of there, and a 1000 multiplier to our plants gets sent right up to space. Huh. I guess I lost the sound for that rocket. That's fine. And now to see what lovely things smash into our planet's surface for me to collect. It doesn't, it just gives a generation bonus. But we can see a bunch of seeds and spores, giving every person who has allergies an absolutely terrible day. And with that, we unlocked a heater T4. And now our plants are flying through the tons. Well, relatively flying, because we're producing 3.6 kilograms a second of plants. All of grass, flowers, moss, and whatever spores just spread across the planet. We're still making decent progress on flora, so we'll be able to create more flora, because technically plants are also still flora, but, you know, specifics. And for our lovely T4 heaters, we need more super alloy, which means we need to go back to our super alloy area. So I need to grab from here, and here, and from here, and here. Craft, craft, and craft. And so with another 10 super alloy to our name, we're going to run back. And on our way back, we unlock the gas extractor. So we'll take down our T3 heaters, just a couple of them, and turn them into these absolutely massive heaters. and as per the usual, run out of power. And since we're only a short amount of kilowatts behind, we will just quickly throw in some solar panels to our lovely solar farm and return power to everything. And with steam and heat bellowing from our new heaters, and to go from 9,765 picokelvin per second to 58,000 picokelvin per second, which is an absolutely ridiculous jump. And so now our terraformation stage is increasing rapidly, and we're still nowhere close to our fusion generator, but leaving it sit for a long period of time will actually get us there. It looks like biomass is going to be our closest thing to upgrade. So that means we'll need to add more flower spreaders, more algae generators, and launch more rockets. Which we need seed lermas, which means we have to go out and explore more because we don't have any more seed lermas. On that note, with the necessity to go out and explore more of the shipwrecks, the moss stage completed, flowers spreading everywhere, heat billowing from the tops of our heating, and our massive drilling into the core of the planet. That is all the time that I have for today. So hopefully next time we'll go and explore each of these wrecks as much as we can. Continue trying to get the birthday cake before the event totally ends, and ever increasing our lovely green impact on the planet. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.